guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Marlou and today I'm going to show you 20 ways to use a journal. So, most people I know on YouTube and everything use one journal at a time. They finish it within a month or a few months and then they move on to the next one. Almost all the journals I'm looking at right now, like sitting on my desk, are all journals I'm using right now. So this is crazy, and I mean, I would definitely recommend it because I like things to be in place. So I want my lists to be together, I want my feelings to be together, I want my art to be together, and I don't want it all mixed up in one journal so that I have to like look through a bunch of journals to find one drawing. You know, I don't want that. So in this video I'm just going to show you ways to fill your notebook, but it's going to be different than the ones you've already binge watched before this one, because I'm going to show you how I use different journal for each topic, and it's going to be so much fun. So I want to apologize if I sound a little bit not nice because I have hay fever, and yeah, I need to film videos. I can't wait till it's gone. Starting with the first one, a self-love journal. So you can also just get your journal and make a topic about it. This is my self-love journal. I have videos on it too. I'll link them. A self-love journal is just a journal about yourself, about writing things about yourself, things you love about yourself, things you're working on. Just you want to read this journal and feel like you're the best person alive. We all have our insecurities, and that's fine, but we need to remind ourselves that we're worthy, and this journal is honestly a great place for that. So I just wrote some things about what this journal is about, and then I looked up some self-love prompts and I wrote them down. So I don't use this journal a lot because I'm not too focused on self-love, which I should be, but every time I open this journal I just choose a prompt and I start writing about it. So here I got the prompt 10 things I love about myself, and then on the page I just did a little collage. I used pictures of myself in it because I think that's really important, to just choose a picture of yourself that you like and you can just look at it and be like, I'm kind of pretty. You know, it's important to remind yourself of positive things about yourself. This is 5 things I'm proud of. Again, collage, picture of myself. Describe how you take care of yourself, and another prompt is how would you improve your self-care. So I wrote about this, and this changes a lot, so I can just do this again because I made this in, I don't know, I was blonde, so a few months ago. Here I wrote about the fear of getting ill. This was at the beginning of the virus. I was really anxious about getting ill, and now this was in March and now it's June. I still haven't got sick, so I'm not that scared anymore, even though I know it's not nice to have it. It's just the anxiety about it is gone, so that's really nice. And here I updated about the virus, that I was no longer scared. I didn't journal at all about the virus. I know a lot of people just like to put pictures about it and write about it. I just didn't do much. Yeah, I did mention it, you know, talking about my life, I mentioned it, but I didn't want to talk about it because I am not that kind of like thriver of that. You know, in like 20 years I'm going to be like, oh, I remember that, and I will just laugh about how little I wrote about it because it was not, you know, I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense. Another prompt is how would you describe yourself? Another picture of me, and I just kind of like described how I would describe myself if I like looked from another person, just looked at me like, who am I? How do I represent myself? How do I come across? And that was really interesting to do. And I can definitely recommend it, even if you do just a section in your normal journal. Write prompts about self-love, write about yourself, take pictures of yourself, put them in there, because you're gonna change all the time. It's going to be so special. So yeah, this is the first one. So the next one, especially for the plant lovers, this is my plant journal. It says, with plants everything is better, and that's definitely a quote I live by. I got this notebook and I really wanted to have a plant journal because I keep forgetting how often my plants need to be watered, and now I can just read it in here. So I just drew these little boxes, all the information about the plants that I need, very short, very direct, and I drew the plants as well. You could also, of course, do this in your bullet journal, but I like to have a separate place for it so that if, like in 20 years, I don't want to use this for 20 years. I don't know when it's going to be filled. I don't want more plants at the moment, but if they die, I need new plants. If I'm going to move out and get a house for myself, I'll have more rooms to fill with plants. So I can just write down every plant that I own, and then one day I have a book full with plants I have ever owned. So that's really cool. So if I'm like, I missed that plant I had 2 years ago, I could just look it up and find it again. And this has helped me a lot with not over watering my plants, because I used to water my plants like every day, and then I just looked up all the information about the plants, and then it was like once a week, and I was like, oh, I'm too caring, I give too much. But yeah, this is the plant journal. Love it, so cute. Definitely recommend it if you have a lot of plants and you can't keep the information right. Next up is my bullet journal, and I know everyone knows about bullet journaling, but I just wanted to add this in here because I have some things to say about the bullet journal and why you should start one even if you tried 5 times and give up. I was the same. I started bullet journaling because everyone was doing it like years ago, like 5 years ago. But I'm not the neatest person. I just want things to get out quick, and I don't have the neatest handwriting. I just want this to be functional. The thing, in a sense, what a bullet journal is about is that you can write down the things that matter to you, so you can give yourself as many lines for each day as you want. You can add or scrap things you don't need. That being said, in here I don't do trackers. I don't make lists. The only thing I got in here is my monthly calendar. This is my layout for June. So how I do this, I get a few days before the month starts, I get my bullet journal, I print out some pictures that I like, and I just, in an hour or an hour or two, I just make everything. I don't do week by week, I just know how much space I need because I do this more than often. So this is the first completed week. I just write Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Saturday and Sunday I mostly spend at my boyfriend's house, so I keep the Saturday and Sunday space a little smaller, and then for the other days I give myself some space to write down my to-do list. So everything that is blue is things that I have done. If I didn't do anything, I just cross it out. So if I have an appointment, it's going to be pink, and if it's something for fun, just like being with my boyfriend, it goes green. So that's how I do that. I just write down the entire month in one sitting and add the pictures, and then as I go I fill it in. The only thing I do is write my to-do list down. No biggie, it's really easy, it's really fun to use. I don't do calligraphy, I don't draw, I just stick down some beautiful pictures that go well together. I just look them up on Pinterest, find an aesthetic I like for the month, and that's just what I do. And then at the end of the month I like to write down my goals and things. I write down how many followers I got on day 1 and day 30. Same with subscribers and with followers on my shop. Then I got some goals like how many followers I want to get at the end of the month, how many subscribers, how many books I want to read, that I want to upload every Monday, that I want to work out every day, and that I sell things. And I write down how many letters I sent that month, and that for everything. With books, with pictures I posted on Instagram, with videos I uploaded, with journals I made. And this doesn't take time at all, and it's just really nice to see your growth and see your productivity and just see how much you did. And then also a little to do, what I want to do in general in the month. So send a letter to, read this book, etc, etc. And you don't need to do all that crazy Pinterest stuff. You can just, you know, this looks cute. Tell me this doesn't look cute. This is cute, and it didn't take long, so. And if you don't have a printer, you can just use magazines, or you can draw if you want. Do whatever you want, but bullet journaling doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to use 10 pages a month. Like, if you need that, if you want that, if you like trackers, go ahead, use them. But if you stop bullet journaling because of it, just leave it out. So if you're now wondering, Marlou, where do you keep all the other useful information that normal people put in their bullet journals? See here my list journal. In this book I keep track of all the books I've read and all the shows and movies I've seen, and I also write down every penny I spend. Is that necessary? I don't know. I just like to be in control of my money and I like to be aware. I just enjoy it. I feel like if you buy something, I want to make myself work and like write it down. Write down what you did, you know? That's kind of like the way I do things. I keep this separate because I don't want my bullet journal is going to fill up and then it's going to be placed in a box under my bed. I won't look at it until I make a video about it, you know? But I want to keep track of this more than that. So I like things to be together. So this journal is just so organized. I love it. So got an index. Then I got movies I've seen in 2020. So this journal is going to last me a few years probably. So I can just make a new list for every year. So these are all the movies I've seen so far. And then I got all the TV shows I've seen so far. So what I do, I write down the seasons 1, 2, 3. And then I mark the season I've seen in this year. So some of them only have the last season marked out because I have seen this previous seasons in previous years. Yeah, I've already watched quite a few shows, but I'm a big show watcher. I watch shows like every day. I love TV shows, so yeah. And then I've got a little section for books I've read. This is not a lot, but it's a lot more than previous years, so I'm happy with that. And now we got all the financial stuff. So here I got clothes that I've bought and I write down the month. And then when the new month arrives, I write down a new month. And you can see like in January I bought a few pieces of clothing and then in February only one. So yeah, got same for food. The best thing about being in quarantine is that I didn't spend any money on food. That's great. I got events. That one is good in quarantine. The only thing I got are my tattoos. That's not really an event, but it's also not stuff or clothing. So. And then I got stuff, which is obviously the longest. But yeah, I do write down every single 50 cents thing I bought on AliExpress, so you know, this fills up quickly. Don't judge me. What I also do is, this is what I did for last year as well, so I know exactly how much money I spent in the entire year and every month of the year. So I write down what did I spend, I write down January clothes, and then I write down the amount of money I spent on clothes, food, events, stuff, and then the total, and then I write down the total amount of money that I spent that month. And then at the end of the year I put it all together and I know how much money I spent that year. So this is really confronting, and if you have trouble with buying too much or anything, I would definitely recommend it. I don't have that. I think I'm a pretty good budget person. I've never been in money trouble or anything. I'm really good with my money. I've always been kind of like that guy from SpongeBob, Mr. Krabs. I don't like losing money and spending money. I like to keep it all. So that's why I write it down, because I have a hard time letting go of my money. But I'm doing better now, and I would definitely recommend having a place for this, because financial things are important and making lists about moves and stuff is just for fun. In addition of that one, I also got this little book which I use to write down everything I sell. So I have a shop on Instagram, it's May Journal Shop, but I also sell like my old clothes, Dutch apps and stuff. So in here, I called it my business journal, that's cute. I just write down like where I sold it on which platform. And then I just write down everything that is for sale right now, and then if it's sold, I'll just write down how much money I earned with it, and I mark it in a color of where I sold it on. And then here I write down every month what I sold and how much money I made each month, and this is really satisfying. So if you're someone who has a shop or just someone who sells their own clothes or whatever, write this down. It's really satisfying to see how much money you have earned. And if you're wondering, Marlou, why didn't you just put it in that journal? Good question. I honestly don't know. But I kind of like it. That's so small, and it's just, I just want to take my business very seriously, and I just liked having a special place for it. So I guess that's it. And I also don't want to be like, oh, you earned 20 euro this month, so that means I can spend another 20. That's not how my mind works. I want things to be earned, and I don't want it to mix in with what I spend. I don't write down, like, for example, I spent 100 euro, and then I earned 20 euro that month. I'm not going to like make it 80. No, I still spent 100 euro. I just earned 20, you know? I like to keep like making money and spending money separately. So let's say I start to earn a lot of money from my shop. Doesn't mean I'm going to spend more on clothing. If I'm going to spend more, it's on things that I need for my shop and not for things I need for myself because it's fun. So I don't want those things to get mixed, because what I spend has nothing to do with what I earn, if that makes sense. So because this video is getting way too long, I'm going to split the videos in two. These were the 10 ideas for today. Please hit the subscribe button so you won't miss next week's video, which is going to be the other 10 ideas. And please leave a like and comment what kind of journals you use and what your favorite idea was. You can also follow me on Instagram. It's MayJournalsLowbar, and I'd love to see you next time. Bye! You guys can't believe how much it hurt for my voice to record this video. Like, my throat is hurting so bad. I literally drank 3 of these bottles during this video, and I ate 2, like, what are this called? Like throat things. I calm myself.